Last year, after not paying attention to the series for a good 10 years, I decided to get back into the greatest anime franchise ever, Dragon Ball. I watched the series and all of its shows and started playing some of the games. This included Legacy of Goku, Xenoverse, and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I was looking through Reddit for like the 5th time in my life looking for more games to play. And I stumbled across a game people were saying is the best Dragon Ball game. This game is called Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure, and it looked completely different to any Dragon Ball game I've played, and I wanted to give it a chance. It came out on the Game Boy Advance, and I wanted to answer the question if it is the greatest Dragon Ball game ever made. I severely doubted it, but I wanted to see and give it a fair chance, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, and let me know your thoughts on this game too. So this game's a side-scroller beat-em-up style game. It follows the original story of Dragon Ball, which not as many people watched, but if you haven't, I suggest you do. Anyways, we play as Goku, and he's just living out in a mountain, and he meets the second person he's ever met in his life, which is Bulma. And she's looking for the Dragon Balls, so we help her on the journey.
He's gonna be hitting them for a while. Good to know I got that special here. No tutorials or anything. Oh god. Not like something hard yet, but I'm actually on a controller this time, which is nice. In Lost Levels, I was not on a controller, I was playing on a keyboard. Thankfully for Christmas, my brother bought me an Xbox controller which I can use for PCs stuff.
Yeah, so as you can see, this game's just kind of a side-scroller where you gotta beat the hell out of any enemies that come in front of you. And some of these areas, like the one I'm in right now, you can't escape until you beat every enemy, which gets pretty annoying towards the end of the game. So after beating the hell out of a lot of enemies, we finally make it towards the end of the level, and someone's asking for our help. I don't know if I skipped the cutscene, but I have no idea who it is, and we take on our first boss, the Bear Thief. Honestly, I didn't even realize this was a character in the game. Maybe I'm just not a real fan, but I think he attacks Goku early on in the series, and he has to fight him. And we take him on pretty easily. We do take quite a bit of damage, but honestly, it's not that serious because I knew we were going to win the entire time. This was one of the battles I actually didn't struggle with throughout the game, thankfully. So now I'm realizing I cut out the part where we meet the turtle, but he lives with Master Roshi, and Master Roshi gives us the Flying Nimbus. And then Bulma kind of just takes the Dragon Ball off of Roshi, which is really nice of him because he didn't have to do that. So this is the part where we meet Oolong, who's like extremely weak, and we all realize that, but we still have to fight him because he's a shapeshifter, and that can be really annoying to deal with. But at first he turns into a bat. We use the Flying Nimbus that Roshi gave us, and we do a pretty big number on him. You know, he really cannot fight us at all because he's a bat. But then he turns into a missile, and I had some trouble dealing with that because he can just do stuff like that, like drilling you, which is really annoying. But
we're not gonna let him. We're gonna get behind him, and he just sneak attacked me, and I thought I was goated, but I'm not. We got him.
So Oolong was really easy to fight. He joins our team, and now we meet Yamcha the Desert Bandit, and this is the coolest Yamcha's ever been. And also, I really think that this would be the coolest Halloween costume ever, Yamcha the Desert Bandit. But we fight him, and we kind of get our ass kicked. You know, Par's dropping bombs, but that's not really the problem. He has his Wolfgang fist, and that just messes us up. But on the second attempt, we do a number on him. He can't stop us. We actually use the power pole this time, which was a much better idea. Probably an underrated fighting mechanic of the game that I didn't really realize. Also, Yamcha has missiles for some reason. I don't really know why.
Bulma was in this weird ass suit, dude.
So I kind of skipped over Fire Island, where we learned the Kamehameha or Kamehameha from Master Roshi. But we're in PLF's castle, and he has the Dragon Balls, and we gotta stop him from making a wish for like world domination or whatever he wants. But first, we gotta go to the castle, which all these bears, which we see a lot throughout the game for some reason. But we have these metal balls chasing us, and they do a hell of a number on us if you get hit by them. You see that? Yeah, that takes up like half the damage, and I can't even jump over it. So I kind of just die here, which sucked. But we have invincibility now, so we get through it pretty easily, which makes the rest of the castle kind of easy. Well, it's actually not invincibility, I'm realizing as I record this. But it just helps you have more power or energy, I think.
I did it again.
And then you can just see me dying for no reason. So now we're at our next boss battle, and we fight one of the worst fights in the game in my opinion. where Pilaf and his dog Shu fight us, these two robots, and they have two different health bars, which makes it really annoying. I tried to take out one at a time. It just really didn't work for me for a while. You know, the second one can jump all over the place and land on you, and the small one's not that difficult, but it's just the fact that the two of them are fighting you at the same time makes it insanely difficult. And so after taking out the first one, we fight the second one, which is, I'm pretty sure it has Shu in it, I'm not really sure. But he just kind of jumps around the entire time, which got really annoying. He also has a flamethrower, which does a shit ton of damage. And also missiles, which is really nice. So this battle got really annoying and also really repetitive. And I did not want to have to do it over again. Because if you game over, you got to do the whole level over again, which sucks.
I thought he was going to drop a missile there. We got him! Let's go! We did it. I did not want to have to do that all over again. We did it barely.
But for some reason, even after beating them, they still have the Dragon Balls, and of course, following the original series, they get to make a wish, and we see Shenron for the first time in this series, except Oolong does something useful and saves the day by being a freak and wishing for panties, which, you know. So after that grueling violent fight, we start some training with Krillin on Master Roshi's Island, preparing for the World Martial Arts Tournament. We chase for a rock, we get it, but Krillin takes it like a sore loser, so we gotta go back through the map. Coming back on this, I died a few times, which really sucked, but honestly, this was one of the more fun parts of the game. It's kinda easy, and now we get to fight Krillin, which I also really enjoyed. Krillin's fighting style is really fun, and he's fun to play against. He's also fun to play as, which you'll find out later in the video. But you know, he beats us, and that kind of sucks.
Bruh, what is that? Yeah, you're getting cooked now. Put the fries in the bag. What?
So after all of that, we start our first real tutorial of the game, which is kind of weird because we're like an hour into the game. Doesn't make any sense, but we get to learn one of my favorite moves, which is throwing people up into the air and smacking them down. I'm going to use this so much for the rest of the game, trust me. So after all our hard work, we start off the World Martial Arts Tournament, and our first opponent is Giran, who's kind of easy. I mean, he almost takes us out, but we use our new special move that just is kind of overpowered if you know how to use it right, which I kind of don't, but we still beat him regardless because it was easy. Our next opponent is Nam, which is one of my favorite characters in the entire series because he's just a good guy. I don't know why, the game kind of makes him look really just white in this series, which I didn't get, but that's alright. We continue our fight with Nam, and he's pretty easy. For the most part, he just didn't do like any damage to us, but he's still a good guy, but we take him out pretty easily. He can fly and stuff like that, but we can throw him up in the air and knock him down. Next we fight Jackie Chun, who I have no idea who this guy is, but he's actually really annoying to fight. As you can see, we'll die a few times.
No! No! We got another one on him. We're cooking with gas. This is our town, guys. But you're not good enough for us. Well, he might be. No, he's not. He lands like a super...
And just like that, we win our second World Martial Arts Tournament, which doesn't really make any sense because that's not happened in the original series. But, you know, we'll just keep moving. So after that, we go looking for more Dragon Balls, and we end up in Muscle Tower, which is run by the Red Ribbon Army, and we gotta save this city of people. We fight Major Metallotron. I don't even know who he is, but, you know, we take him down. Now we fight Ninja Murasaki, who I don't really remember either. I know Goku peed on him in the original series, but that's besides the point. We fight him.
Missed me again, bomb. Oh wow. I wonder. Rock wasn't anywhere before. Surely he's not in it. We got him. Okay, but he might send.
They know how goated we are, so they had to be unfair and send like 5 of them at me, which is kind of insane.
Bruh, how is this fair? In what world is this fair? Yeah, you're nothing for me. You're nothing. They all have their own health bars, dude. Oh, I actually might lose. You won't get me.
So we see like General White at the top of Muscle Tower, and he sends us down to this
pink blob thing. I think his name is Bouillon. I don't even know. But you kind of beat him by opening up the wall, which allows a bunch of cold air to come in and it freezes him. And this is when you have your chance to attack. As you can see right here, it took forever, but it took me like a million years to realize that, but it's okay. I was still able to fight him. It's one of the easier battles in the game. He can do damage to you, but you kind of just have to withstand it. You know, you can obviously dodge it, but I decided not to, which is just way easier to just let yourself fight through it, because you're gonna beat him no matter what. I took a ton of damage before even realizing.
He's almost got us, but we almost have him. Come on, let's go. We got him.
So this time we're definitely ready to fight General White, except for the fact that it's not even a boss battle. We don't even fight him. We just punch straight through him and he gets defeated. We don't have to fight him. And Muscle Tower also just like blows up or whatever. We help Snow out, and then I'm pretty sure we never see her again, which is all good. We saved her. That's all that matters. Following the Red Ribbon Army for treasure and more Dragon Balls, we end up in an underwater cave, which kind of completely sucks as a mission, but it's okay. We fight this robot dragon thing, which caused me a lot of problems, but it was alright. He kind of just runs towards you, jumps on you, hits you with his sword and fire and missiles, and you know, things like that. So you just have to be completely ready for literally any attack it sends you, because it's completely unpredictable, which I hate. But it honestly made for a decent challenge, which is similar to the rest of the bosses in this game. This is where we fight General Blue towards the end of the level. He's not like that difficult to fight. He's mostly just punching you and stuff like that. He's got some special moves, but they don't really come into effect too much. You're just kind of fighting him, and you know, since we're so goated, it's kind of easy to fight. Except for this part where he gets all blue, and then look at this. He just pulls out a gun and shoots you, but you know, it's Dragon Ball. So my punches do more than his bullets, and we take him out as the underwater cave starts to explode, and we gotta get out of there. Now, moving on, we meet Upa, who is now living all alone after the mercenary cow of the Red Ribbon Army killed his father. And we're gonna get revenge for Upa because he's 4 years old and cannot fight for shit. So what we gotta do is we gotta fight Mercenary Tao, but unfortunately for Goku and us, this isn't like an impossible task right now. Mercenary Tao is just way too strong, and this will actually be the first battle that you are meant to lose in this game. I don't know why the World Martial Arts tournaments aren't the same, but this one is. We're gonna get better and fight Mercenary Tao. Even if you do beat him, it doesn't matter because the game will just say you lost to him anyway. And after almost dying, Yajirobe brings us Korin Tower because we need his sacred water or something like that. And we gotta play all of sorts of games so we can get the water. And ones that like Master Roshi took like a million years to do, we do it in like a few minutes. We gotta chase Korin around. And it's not really that difficult. He kind of disappears sometimes, but in the end, it's just extremely easy. And it just is a little time consuming, but also not really. And now we're finally ready to fight Mercenary Tao for the second time in like a few minutes.
Okay, we're almost caught up in health. This is usually where I get complacent. And I don't want to do that. But I kind of like it. I don't like how we're going so far. Quite like the first time. Someone's probably done it before, but just maybe it doesn't happen. I know in the Legacy of Goku, it's like you beat them, but you still lose. And the battles where you're supposed to lose. But in this one, I guess it's the one battle you're actually supposed to lose, you lose. But
So after taking care of that chump like it was no big deal, we move to the Red Ribbon Army base, which is the end of this arc. But there's a lot to do here. There is so much fighting we have to do, and it gets really annoying. But right now we're using Nimbus, we're flying in the sky. This part's pretty easy. The fighter jets are pretty easy. But do you have like these giant zombie big dudes, and they're really annoying. I never knew how to fight them this entire game. I'm pretty sure what you're supposed to do is hit them in the head, like from above. Any other way just doesn't work at all. As you can see, I'm getting my ass kicked here, but it's okay. I mean, there's like 20 of them throughout the entire map, which gets really annoying as you keep going, because they take up so much of your damage. And here, I didn't even know how to beat them. I kept hitting them off, and that wouldn't get me through the stage. As you can see, I just died. Not sure if you guys can tell what's going on here, but I somehow got stuck down here. When I went through this door, I came back out and realized I couldn't get up. But for some reason, it makes you do a wall jump, which is so difficult to pull off in this game. As you can see, I finally pulled it off right there.
Thank goodness. I guess I couldn't figure out how to wall jump. I literally had to pause the recording to search it up. And it's a very timely thing, but you hold A, or you jump, and then while you're on the wall, you hold left, and you hold A, and it should work.
As we made it through the very annoying Red Ribbon Army base, we meet two of the most creative names in Dragon Ball history, General Black and General Red. Just outstanding performances right there. General Black kills General Red, I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure, but I think that's what happened. General Black becomes commander of the Red Ribbon Army, as it kind of exists still. And he becomes a giant robot, which is, I think, the most annoying battle in the entire game, at least for me.
And do his work. Oh wow, that does a lot of damage on me. Come on, I can do this. No, I missed it. I literally missed it. But he's not. Thankfully. A big risk right there. Yes, we did it. Saved that for the last second, and it worked off. It worked out. Paid off.
We finally beat the Red Ribbon Army. That was a grueling fight, and now we're at Baba's palace. Castle? Something like that. Because we gotta look for more Dragon Balls. I think we're trying to find the final one, and she makes us fight some people to get it. But we fight Spike, and this is also one of my least favorite battles in the game, because I just keep falling off the edge. It's not even that he's good, I just keep falling off every single time.
We had him.
And it gets really annoying. Look at me almost win this. This Spike guy doesn't really have any good moves. It's just the fact that he can fly, he can hit you from everywhere, and the fact that there's ledges that you can fall off. His pitchfork doesn't do too much damage, but my tactic was to just keep him on the side and keep myself on the side, so there'd be no risk of me falling off. So I just stayed here the entire time and would hit him with Kamehameha's Energy Blast and try to get him physically when I can. You see me almost falling out there, but I was not going to try to make the jump when I was that close to beating him, and we finally get him killed. So to end off this mini tournament at Baba's palace, we fight this guy with a cat mask and a halo, who Goku certainly has no idea who this is. Of course we don't. There's no way you could know who this is.
Right.
But this fight's not too difficult. It's much easier than the first one. There's no special tactics or anything. We just have to fight the entire time, throw them up in the air, use World Martial Arts Tournament, things of that nature, of course.
We have the lead. But we had the lead with the fucking Akuna guy. Let's go. Or almost gone. I know in the original series, Goku gets the ever-living shit beat out of him for it.
So after we beat the crap out of him, we realized that this is actually a person Goku knows, his grandpa Gohan, who gifted him the 4-star Dragon Ball many years ago, and the first person he met before he met Bulma. This is the most emotional part of the first series in my opinion, just a really good moment. So Baba finally tells us where the Dragon Ball is. It's with the Pilaf gang, and they form a giant 3 robots, which is supposed to kick our ass. Oh yeah, did I mention they just formed together to make one giant robot? I don't know what this game's obsession with giant robots, but they do it quite a few times, and they're launching missiles from every robot. It gets really annoying, but this fight overall wasn't too difficult. They kind of just stand there and walk around very slowly. There's no jumping, there's no flamethrowers, there's no giant missiles. So honestly, with a few Kamehamehas and jumping and running, it was not that difficult. We finally collect all the Dragon Balls so we can bring Bora back to life. This is cool, even though we don't see him in the entire game for some reason.
Alright, so we got some mind control. We completely messed up that combo there. But I don't think he landed a hit on us. He knows how to dodge apparently, but nothing else.
As you see here, we are absolutely cooking Chaozu in the first round of the World Martial Arts Tournament. He can't even land a hit on us until the battle's almost over. He knocks us up in the air a few times, but honestly, this is just the epitome of what Chaozu is. Just a cool guy, but the most useless character in the Dragon Ball franchise. In the second round, we have Krillin, who's our best friend, and we gotta beat the hell out of him. Which kinda sucks, but Krillin's pretty fun to fight against, like I said before. I think we have one more battle against him after this. This one wasn't too difficult. He kind of plays the exact same style as us, so you just kind of have to outmaneuver him, move faster than him, and kind of predict what moves you use. It's kind of easy. He's not too difficult to play against. As you can see here, I took care of him pretty easily. But this is where the real challenge starts. This was one of my most difficult fights in the game. And one of the more difficult 1v1 fights where there weren't any missiles being launched. It's just that Tien was a really good fighter. He had way more abilities than anybody had fought. And he was also just really quick and able to outmaneuver us so swiftly. So it just made it so difficult to fight him. As you can see here, I'm actually doing a good number on him. It took me so many tries that I don't show in the video, because it got really annoying to fight against Tien and then having to play throughout the entire tournament.
No.
But he puts up a really good fight even when he's about to lose, which kind of made me really nervous because I did not want to have to play through this all again, because I was definitely close to a game over.
No, we got him. Krillin, what happened? What happened, buddy? He's dead?
As you can tell by the devastation on my voice, I'm distraught that Krillin died, but we gotta fight one of the most hardest fights in the entire game. I hated this one so much. Tambourine is so unpredictable, and he killed me so many times because he's just going back and forth. It sucked so much.
Yes, we finally did it. Barely.
So even though we kicked Tambourine's ass, he still kills us, and that lands us on an island with Yajirobe and King Piccolo, which is absolutely insane. It's another fight you're designed to lose, the second in the game. I don't even know if anybody's ever beaten that. That would be so insane. Even though King Piccolo's really not that difficult to fight, it'd still be impossible. So after getting our ass completely kicked by King Piccolo, he goes over to Shenron, wishes to become young, and then kills Shenron. But luckily we have Korin, and he has more water for some reason. I don't know what his thing is with water, but we have to enter one of the most difficult stages in the game. I hated this one so much.
I do kind of wish you could play as other characters in this game, or we could just see more Yamcha and Tien. Because they really don't get mentioned in this game. Maybe Tien does.
I really think the game is listening to me, because right after I said that, we run into this Shadow Yamcha guy, and pours back and dropping bombs. But this battle is not that difficult. It's mostly the rest of the stage and one of the other fights that becomes really difficult. Yamcha's not that hard to fight. He just has his, Wolfgang Fist and anything else, but he's just a normal fighter. He doesn't have anything too special, which makes him a pretty easy fight to beat. I always wish Yamcha had more importance in Dragon Ball. I know he's one of the few humans that makes it anywhere, but I really wish they made him stronger. It's just so sad to see him get beaten up all the time. This isn't even the real Yamcha. But anyways, we make it through further in the stage, and it's really a big maze, which kind of pissed me off for the most part. But now we get to the real challenge. This was one of the harder fights in the game, and the first time Krillin really posed a challenge to me. This is the third time we fight him, and Shadow Krillin is the most difficult. I mean, he puts in a number on us. I mean, we get absolutely creamed 5 times, I think. I think I gamed over twice from this. It sucked so much.
Oh!
We died so many times, and we gamed over to the point where we had to go back and face King Piccolo. We had to do the entire
way
map
more than it did.
over
That's
again.
not fair. We can actually get him this time. Oh, wow. I tried to jump way lower than that. Oh, we can get him. Yes, finally. I think that was the hardest battle I've done. What's that? Oh, a full health boost. Oh. Tien's dead, which sucks. Oh, no, he's not dead.
In order to save Tien and everybody else, we gotta fight King Piccolo, but we gotta fight Drum first, and he's really easy. He can move around really quickly, he can teleport, but his attacks don't do any damage because you can avoid them really easily. He charges up, and you can just avoid them so easily, unlike, Krillin or the General Black Robot. He's just a really easy to avoid, which makes him an easy mini-boss. The rest of the stage is just utter mayhem. You know, you just fight a bunch of piano and tambourine clones, which isn't too difficult, but there's just a lot of them, which is annoying.
This is gonna be an insanely hard fight, but I know we are. Oh my god. What?
This is where we fight King Piccolo, the main guy.
What is this?
But the problem is, he's not that difficult to fight. The only thing is, they give him a
Are we
lot more
supposed to
health
win this?
and
How am I
take
supposed
our
to
health
win this?
away. I haven't even seen a white bar at this point in the game, but that's no problem. He kinda sucks.
That's a good one. We're almost down. We almost have him down to the same health as ours, which is big. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it.
I'm really stressing in this clip, and I honestly don't know why. I knew Piccolo was easy the entire time.
It's the moment where we win or lose. Okay, it's not where we lose, but like that. He can't get another one on us. He can't get another one on us. Alright, this should be it. Let's go. I did not want to do that fight again. Or get a game over. That would suck. Super Goku, like, chunks a hole through him? Yeah, probably. Let's go. That's what we love to see. King Piccolo dead. How could you be beaten? But he was not a good fighter compared to some of the other fighters. Like, even the Shadow Crow was better. And he had the same health as us. King Piccolo is gone.
So, King Piccolo is defeated, and surely
But-
the next arc is the Piccolo arc. You'd be mistaken. For some reason, I thought this ended at the next martial arts tournament, which is why I was so confused when Goku won the first two, because it didn't make any sense for the storyline. But it does if you realize he doesn't fight in the third one in this game. I really wish he did. That's one of my favorite parts of the series. If you guys want to see me do like a Krillin playthrough, give me 100 likes on this video, please. Thanks. But Krillin's actually really fun to play with. But my final thoughts on this game are, is it the best Dragon Ball game I've played? No, definitely not. It's pretty fun. It's as good as probably the Legacy of Goku games, but I'd say Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is probably the best Dragon Ball game I've played. I might do a video on that someday. I don't know. If you guys like the Dragon Ball videos, let me know. I haven't played Sparking Zero yet either because I don't have the console to run it, unfortunately. But I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it when I play that too. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a new style I'm doing, so let me know.